boletes are a group of mushrooms that have a porous surface and not gills. Aside from the gilled bolete, it is a large group of mushrooms that have pores, not gills, and a stem. At first, it seems like it might be an easy thing to get into, and then you discover that there are a lot of attention to detail that you need to know to get from genus to species with boletes. A lot of information to put in just one video. It can seem daunting. So rather than cause you to not want to hunt boletes, I want to show you some boletes that are very easy to identify that we can find and eat in Michigan. This one, I wouldn't necessarily call easy, but it's definitely moderate. This is the gray bolete. And if we look at these in here, yeah, they look cream color, but they really are gray. They're hard to find. And the distinguishing features of this particular mushroom will be pores, not gills, a gray colored cap, a stem that will stain yellow with age, and have dark coffee colored wormholes, worm caverns in the stem, and it will have very bold reticulation on the stipe. The gray bolete is a moderate oak loving edible species. Some people really like it, some people don't. This is actually my first encounter with this particular species, Ready Boletes griseus. The reticulation on this stem is a netting, and if you were to look at it with a magnifying glass, you would see this beautiful network of netting along the stem. The flesh is usually cream to white. The bug trails will definitely always be coffee colored. And the flavor is usually non-distinct. Or slightly sweet. So rather than go through all the details of all the difficult boletes, I hope to show you in this video several boletes in Michigan that you can start with that are relatively easy to identify. The gray bolete, edible, oak loving, reticulated stalked bolete mushroom. I come up to the truck and Dawn is picking one of her favorite mushrooms. The chrome-footed bolete. She calls it the pink bolete.
The pinky.
She says she's found at least 5 or 6 more. Oh wow, look at this cute one.
Whoops. Look at the size of that. Isn't she pretty?
And that is definitely yellow.
Oh, look at the babies.
I love the pens.
Should I pick it or leave it?
Yeah, pick them.
Pick them.
That's
Look
fresh.
how yellow that is.
That's fresh. Still got beetles going up the stalk. Hopefully we got some that aren't devoured.
Oh. Oh. A couple more, babe.
Oh, that one is pink.
Look how pretty this one is. Oh, she's perfect.
Oh, that is pretty.
She's perfect.
Say there's more.
One more. Walk up to where
Is that it by that rock over here? Or was there another one you've seen?
it's around in here. Oh, there.
Oh.
Right here. This one isn't very good.
No?
Look at her.
Yeah, that one's probably bug ridden.
Oh yeah.
Cut it in half and see.
My knife needs to. Oh, yeah, that one's not good.
Seen one over here. Right there hiding under that brush. See it?
Oh. I can't see any.
Can't see anything because you're bug mesh. How did you find them in the first place?
They were shiny.
Shiny.
Ooh, this one's not very good.
Oh, that one's done. Yep.
Okay. I'm happy.
Well, I think we got 3 or 4 in that mess.
Aren't they pretty?
Never bring a mushroom basket. That way you ensure that you find mushrooms.
Look how pink they are.
Yeah, I like that pin right there, that little baby. Yeah, that's definitely pink.
They're beautiful.
This one here is rotten. And you can see this blue pith right here. But next to it, I'm hoping, and I haven't cut it yet to know, next to it I hope is a fresher specimen that will demonstrate exactly what makes this mushroom easy to identify. This mushroom is called the bluing bolete. It's a Gyroporus cyanensis. And Gyroporus are relatively easy to identify because their stalk is pithy-ish hollow. Now the color on this can be just about any color really, in this cream to dull yellow to even white. Now this one has been eaten apart by snails and it's not really in the greatest of shape. So it's not the best example to start this video by, but what makes the bluing bolete easy to identify is the loosely stuffed stalk and how fast its cream colored flesh stains blue everywhere on its surface. Now this is an edible bolete, but this particular one has been fed on and preyed upon by several slugs, it looks like. And so it wouldn't be one that we're going to take home and eat. It looks like one bored a hole in the top there. I'm going to cut this in half and hopefully you can see just how fast this beautiful mushroom stains blue. I mean, it's so fast. A couple other items that you're going to want for learning boletes, and learning boletes I think is something that'll be fun for you and it's not as dangerous as say learning amanitas, but learning boletes will make you focus in on a lot of really subtle details and descriptive factors that you find in a lot of your guidebooks. So a magnifying glass is one thing that you're going to want to use. You're going to want to use it so that you can look at everything on the bolete, from the pores to the reticulation or not reticulation on the stem, scabers or dots on the stem. And with most boletes, it's important to dig up the base. On this species, it isn't important to dig up the base because I knew what it was before I picked it. But you're going to want to look at the mycelia attached to the base on many species of boletes. So let's go find another easy bolete to identify and get on with this introduction to boletes in Michigan. It's one of Dawn's favorites because it's normally pink when it's fresh. It has this pink cap. It can dull up to a light brown as it ages. It has pinkish scabers on its stem. It has whitish cream pores. There's no staining. The flavor is mild if you do a taste and spit test. And the key identifying feature is this bright, bright, bright yellow stem right at the base where it attaches. This is the chrome-footed bolete. Dawn calls it the pink bolete. You can find it in conifers, hardwoods. It doesn't really matter, but it's a pinkish to light brown bolete with cream to white pores and pinkish scabers on the stem and a bright yellow base. That bright yellow base is the dead giveaway. Let's go find another easy bolete to identify. This is a very easy mushroom to learn. One thing that makes it really easy to learn is this heavy and beautiful reticulation on the stem. It's bright red with white to yellow streaked reticulation, somewhat orange where the stipe meets the cap, and this beautiful, beautiful gold or amber colored liquid that comes out. We call it mushroom sweat. The top of the cap looks like an apple when you're looking down at it, and that's why we call it the candy apple. If you take a taste test of this particular mushroom, it's going to have this kind of, to some people it might not be, but to me it's a delightful lemony taste. The key identifying features of this one, of course, is red pores, not gills, reticulated stalk, red blushing to orange, and a very candy apple red cap. A lot of times the margin of this mushroom shows just a hint of fading, like it's fading out to a yellow or a white. The pores on this are striking and they do stain blue and then turn black. And you cut this mushroom in half, you'll see it start to stain blue and then darken. The flesh is a light yellow. There's that yellow margin I was talking about. But from the top, this looks like a shiny candy apple hidden in the leaves, and it is a delicious edible mushroom. I like mine dehydrated and rehydrated, but I have and still do cook this mushroom without dehydrating it first. The candy apple bolete or the frost bolete is a very easy mushroom to identify in Michigan, I do believe, and it's also one of my favorites to find. They are everywhere, so it's a really common mushroom. And it gets really large. I tend to pick these when they're smaller rather than waiting for them to get much bigger than that, because they will get much bigger. These are a delicious mushroom, easy to recognize, easy to learn. I got an easy Michigan bolete for you guys to see. It's an edible. It's delicious. I can't say that it's rare, but it is hard to spot. The stature of this mushroom is different than most boletes. It's tall and slender. It's got a really shaggy stalk. The top is usually just a bland reddish brown, and sometimes with age can get cracking in it. I'm going to dig this up a little bit here. It'll have white mycelia at the base. It'll have a cream to yellowish pores and a reddish brown stalk. See this coarse reticulation here? There's only one other mushroom that resembles this tall, slender, coarse reticulation on the stipe, and that one grows around birch trees and has a very red top. It's also edible. But this is an oak-loving bolete in Michigan. It's, in my mind, one of the easier boletes to identify. It has a very mild flavor, if it has any flavor at all. I know I want to take this one home and eat it. I usually don't find more than one or two in a general area. In this particular case, it's not looking good for finding more, but we do have more trail to look at, so hopefully we can find another one of these yummy Michigan boletes. I got a couple more easy boletes for you guys to look for when you're out there foraging. This is the foxy bolete. It has scabers on the stem. It has usually an orange to reddish top. When you cut the base, sometimes it'll stain a bluish gray, sometimes it won't. It has cream to white pores. Now this mushroom is a good edible, but you need to cook it pretty quickly from harvesting, otherwise it tends to get mushy. You'll find this along conifers. Now there's another that looks similar to this that has dark scabers on its stem. The cap will be a little darker. I might include it in this video, but I have to find it first. I haven't found it yet. And that one is Lexinum scabrum. It's edible as well. And that one you'll find under birch. But when you're in Michigan, a lot of times conifers and birch go hand in hand. But the scabers are a dead giveaway on this, as well as the reddish orange cap, and it is a thick and heavy mushroom. It's really not that bad eating. This is a beautiful bolete. This is a Suillus. It's pretty easy to identify. It has this silvery remnant of a veil right here. See me moving it with a knife. And a remnant of a veil right here. Pores are yellow. It has a yellow stem with red streaks. And the top is usually velvety with yellow cracks. And this is referred to as the painted Suellus. It likes white pine. It's really easy to recognize because of the veil, the angular yellow pores, because it does grow under white pine, and the very distinct cap and stem. Painted Suellus. Not a bad eater either. Pretty easy bolete to identify. Let's see if we can find one more easy bolete for this video. These are an easy bolete to identify. These are called Boletes crescentinoides, and that Latin name means golden intestine. Now there is one that looks like this. I'll leave its name in the description, but it's also edible. The only difference is the Xerocamelus that looks just like this isn't anywhere near as tasty, and I can't say that this is a very tasty mushroom, but it is edible and it is decent. But this one grows on wood. It has a brown velvety cap when it's young, and then cracks with age. It has pores, not gills. The pores are usually yellow and then tinting kind of a green hue once it ages, and they will stain blue to blue-green. This bolete prefers to grow on wood, and its lookalike prefers to grow on the ground. Not that either can't do either. Both are edible though. That's what makes this bolete an easy one to identify. Boletes crescentinoides. It's not a bad edible. If you do eat this one, remove the pores. Just pull them off the bottom like so, and eat the hat. Let's see if we can put another easy one on the camera.